Traveler, Paimon, it's been a long time.
Welcome back to Genshin Impact. You guessed it. Oh my god, we are in a cutscene. I was just on a loading screen, and now we're in a cutscene. Could that maybe have something to do with playing a story quest? On this channel? You guessed it.
Oh, hey, Hoishin. Long time no see. Fancy meeting you here. How's work these days?
Well, whose story quest could it be? Write your replies and answers now in the comments. You probably can't tell from the title or the thumbnail. I mean, come on.
Thanks to the help of people like you and colleagues like Ganyu, better all the time.
Oh my god, guys, when you're watching those videos, then Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 2 has already come out. Oh my god, and not yet now. It is 1 AM, it's just Thursday now. But the whole day is actually just, like, you know, in front of me, so... Friday is still 2 nights away, and I'm like... Not ready, I've been reading theories! Okay, that's the wrong thing to talk about now. I just hope Steve isn't dead yet, and I hope Mike isn't dead yet, but we'll see. Continue.
But I've been feeling distracted at work lately. I just feel constantly agitated.
Has something happened? It probably has, that's why we got the story quest.
It's a long story. But my father, he's thinking of stepping down from the TIANSHU position due to health issues.
Oh, this guy.
Huh? What's wrong with Uncle Tian?
Nothing specifically. He's not unwell. He says he's just increasingly low on energy these days. He's always said, old age comes for us all in the end. Still, I just can't help but feel a little emotional watching it happen to him. Anyway, my father's currently on the 2nd floor of Yangsheng Tea House. Why don't you come pay him a visit with me? He seems very fond of you, too. I'm sure chatting with you will make him very happy.
Sure, let's go.
Let's go. Off to Uncle Tian. Calculate Gambit, Umbrabilis Orcus chapter. You still don't know who this is, huh? Well, I just thought that this random symbol was in my team, you know, like on the side. Well, before we do anything, let's see if we can get some prime gems. Oh, I have one wish. It's not really a lot. I still want Gold though, so I'm gonna yeet that away and instantly regret it. Instantly regret it. Go to the 2nd floor of Yangsheng Tea House. Oh, that's the one where they always kick people out because they're not fancy enough. Oh, there he is. That was easy to find him. Hello there.
Uncle Tian, we're here to chat with you.
Yay.
Oh? What a lovely surprise. Welcome. Hoishin, why don't you go downstairs and get the shopkeeper to make us a fresh pot of tea?
And now we can talk alone.
I heard that you've been traveling all over the place recently. I would very much like to hear your adventure stories.
Me, we're more concerned about your health, Uncle Chen. Is everything okay?
Hoishin told you, didn't she? Don't worry. I'm quite alright. It's just the years gradually catching up with me. As I grow older, I'm starting to find that with many things, though the mind is willing, the flesh is weak. Especially recently, I've noticed a rather drastic drop in my energy levels. I am still very much in good standing as the TIANSHU today. Nevertheless, I wish to pass on the position before my mental acuity begins to decline beyond redemption.
How difficult is it to transfer the TIANSHU position?
Oh, well, you see, the TIANSHU is a rather unique position among the Liyue Qixing. Historically speaking, the TIANSHU rarely appears in public. We stay behind the scenes, planning and giving advice, so a public selection process would not be suitable. We also want to keep any prospective TIANSHU candidates free from influence by outside forces, so we tend to be as discreet as possible in their assessment and appointment. For these reasons, the incumbent TIANSHU typically recommends their candidate of choice, and this is then approved by the other Qixing members.
So in other words, you pick someone, and then Lady Keqing, Lady Ningguang, and the other Qixing appoint them?
I still don't know how it
Correct.
works, so.
Unfortunately, due to my health, I won't be able to assess every candidate myself. Not to despair, however, because I found someone exceptionally capable to act on my behalf as assessment officer. In fact, I believe you recently became acquainted with her yourself.
There she is!
Oh? Who is
As
it?
you speak of her.
I'm heartbroken. I thought it might take you a little longer than this to forget all about me.
Finally, we meet under normal circumstances.
Kailan!
Yay!
Jackpot. Uncle Tian here asked me to assess 3 candidates for him. Fancy joining me? You'll be among the first to get to know the next TIANSHU. Might be a good opportunity for you.
What do you think?
I'm gonna be the next TIANSHU. At least then they don't just call me the Traveler in Liu anymore. I'm not really interested. Come on.
Paimon thinks so too. It can't be a bad thing to be on good terms with a new Qixing,
Make me
right?
famous.
Alright then. Though, I gotta say, Uncle Tian, you say you're into behind-the-scenes planning? My work's of the covert variety too. Don't you think I might make a good TIANSHU?
Yes.
Huh? Yelan, you want to be the next TIANSHU?
I'm not opposed to the idea, but I suspect Ningguang wouldn't let you go very easily after how long you've been working together. So, how about this? If your investigation reveals that none of the other candidates are qualified for the position, I'll recommend you for the job.
Huh.
Deal. Well, you guys take your time. Everything's all set for the assessments to go ahead. Meet me on the first floor when you're ready. Until then, have a pleasant conversation. Oh, and no need to pay for your tea. As the new owner of this fine establishment, this runs on the house.
Oh. After telling Uncle Tian about your recent adventures, he turned to the entrance of the tea house.
You're all set?
I guess so.
Uncle Tian seems really worn down. It's like all his energy's gone.
Yeah, it may sound harsh, but Uncle Tian is past his prime. He's not cut out for this anymore. So he's recommended 3 candidates. Their names are Qinwei, Mingbo, and Zhi. Qinwei is a wealthy entrepreneur. Mingbo works at the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs, and Zhi is focused on study and travel. Try to keep all that in mind. Of course, it doesn't really matter if you forget, since we'll be assessing them at Yuehai Pavilion in a short while.
Qianwei, Mingbo, Zhi. Paimon should be able to remember their names, but what does the assessment involve exactly?
Let's leave that until we get to Yuehai Pavilion. All right. Heads in the game, people. The stakes don't get much higher than a change in the Qixing. We can't afford to miss anything, no matter how small.
Got it. We'll keep our eyes wide open.
Yay. I like how chill the story quest feels. I know it's probably gonna change in a couple minutes, but right now we're just like hanging out in Liyue. It's midnight. It's just as dark as in real life here. We're just like casually walking outside, talking to people. Oh my god, imagine Genshin and VR. That would be a life changer for real. Life changer as in I would really change my life to just stay in Genshin, I guess. Ah, just kidding, I'm too lazy to do my dailies half of the week, but yeah. Maybe that would change too. I just kinda noticed my throat kinda hurts, so, maybe it's good that we're doing a story quest, I don't have to talk too much. But where are we going to? Where is that person? There he is? Nope. Oh, okay.
My legs are getting sore. What is wrong with this assessment officer? This is a huge occasion and I don't even get a chair. I've dealt with all kinds of people in my time, but never have I been made to stand while I'm waiting for an appointment.
Oh, I mean, I think it's fine.
That's called being complacent. If you're happy to just accept the way things are, you'll never be able to change anything in the future.
Get complacent.
Oh, come on. That's just... Now you're just being unreasonable.
All right, you two. Let's not get into a big argument over this. It's not worth it. Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for. And Mingbo, cut him some slack.
Oh.
We've all been standing around for a while. It's natural to be getting
Didn't
irritable.
expect to see all these people in the same place.
Look, how about this? There's no rule saying we're obliged to stand up while we wait, so why don't we borrow some chairs from the guild nearby?
He looks like...
Fine. They're not the best quality chairs, to be sure. But under the circumstances, it would be better than nothing.
The guy who just talked, he entered the assessment when you feel like, he looks like Juto from
It
Hype.
looks like all 3 candidates have arrived.
Oh, it was still street.
Mm-hmm. We'll meet them formally soon. Before that, let me run you through the assessment process. I've split it into 2 stages: current affairs and planning, and face-to-face interview. In the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In the second stage, we will ask them some questions in person. Writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance. These are the reports they submitted.
Wow. One of them is really thick.
It's probably the glasses guy. He's probably gonna get the job.
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed as the new TIANSHU will be expected to implement their plan as put forward in their manifesto. Failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan. Therefore, these 3 piles of documents in front of us represent where each candidate stands on key policy issues. There's still some time. Have a skim through, get a first impression of what each person's
Oh
proposing.
no, I have to read them all.
I'll be waiting off to the side. Just let me know when you're done.
Oh, Jesus. My throat's gonna be thankful for getting sick, I guess. Talk to me.
Finished?
Mm-hmm.
Almost.
Seryu's manifesto covers domestic affairs, foreign affairs, and checks and balances, all in great detail. The focus seems to be problem solving and provides concise and clear solutions to various problems. It's so thick that you only have time to skim through it roughly. Next one. Xianwei's manifesto addresses many commercial issues and provides some very penetrating analysis. His views seem to be that regulations and incentives are both indispensable. A very short one. Mingbo's manifesto covers domestic affairs quite comprehensively, focusing on people's livelihoods. The core principle seems to be the greater good means of wealth that works for everyone. I'm done.
Finished, huh? What did you think?
Everyone took it very seriously.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new TIANSHU, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written. Nobody wants to have any regrets.
Well, then what's your opinion on this?
That's for me to know and you to find out. We can talk more after the interviews. We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time. Start with Qianwei.
Yes, ma'am.
Leon brings Qianwei in.
Oh? So you 2 are the assessment officers, are you? I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I certainly hadn't imagined I'd be seeing 2 entirely unfamiliar faces.
Unlikable, totally unlikable. Next guy, scratch it.
I trust you've read through my manifesto? I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp. It was written with an expert audience in mind, after all.
Mind your tone, mister.
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact.
Did you learn it from Cloud Retainer? Oh my god, communication skill. I'm always here for Cloud Retainer slander.
Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes, I remember now. You must be the traveler that people are constantly talking about. With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concepts I have put forward. Yeah, although I shouldn't get my hopes up.
I do very much understand. I'm actually very, very knowledgeable, and I can tell you for sure that you are full of bullshit. After asking Xianwei some questions, Yelan tells him to fetch Mingbo.
Oh, is it my turn?
This guy's more likable.
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
Although he does seem kind of like he maybe has, like, you know, some insecurity issues, some anxiety issues, because he wasn't really speaking up for himself when the other guy just cut them off. I don't know, I honestly just forgot what these people were talking about. I was like, oh, this one guy's rude. Then this one guy had one sentence, and then I was like, oh, this dude looks like Juto Iruma from my Trigger Crew from Hypnosis Microphone. And my mind was just focusing on that.
I'm, Mingbo. I work in the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
You need to speak up.
I've worked there for, 9 years, 5 months, and 3 days. In that time, I've handled, 2,347 cases.
You know, I sympathize with people who are, like, clearly kind of anxious. Because they're just like me for real. But I don't think it would last very long working together with Ningguang, so,
I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in, 16 days?
Oh my god, you can work for me, you can cut my videos if you want to, because I've been pushing them off for months! Months, dude! Procrastinating is so bad.
My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for, auditing the accounts. To be more precise, there are 3 parts to the accounts, namely...
Is it just Paimon, or is he not very good at public speaking?
Paimon, let him talk, don't interrupt him.
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and move on to some questions.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
He unforces her way through a few questions with Mingo, then gets him to fetch things. You dare? Oh, he doesn't look like Jutsu because he's got long hair.
Hello.
Oh, so close.
Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous.
You are so close to perfection. You can get the job if you cut off that stupid ponytail and start wearing red gloves and a police officer uniform.
What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away and I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability.
Actually, I need you to say one sentence, and if you get it right, you can have the job immediately. You gotta say, Irumetikar Mojuto, AK-45 Rabbito, in the building! Nailed it. You got the job, my man.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the ability to put your plan into action?
I sure love sitting alone in my room, talking to myself, and making references that no one will ever get. That was blunt.
Very fair question. I completely understand where you're coming from. But I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with far more expertise than myself, and my manifesto is the conclusion of these efforts. Of course, 2 different problems can be interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach 2 very contradictory conclusions depending on which one you're focusing on. What I've tried to do is strike a balance. In other words, present an optimal solution to all the problems as a whole.
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution being the optimal one?
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues and the secretaries of the Yuehai Pavilion evaluate any proposals before implementation. Post-implementation, it would all come down to the results.
Man, job interviews sure are scary.
If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results, I would take responsibility.
Nice answer. All right, next question.
After asking Shiyu a few questions, Yelan sends him on his way.
He seems like a great guy. Everything he said was thoughtful and logical, and he was just a pleasure to listen to.
Meh. I agree.
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many excellent ideas in his manifesto which effectively target the big issues. But he is very proud and incredibly stubborn. He doesn't care much about other people's feelings.
Don't tell me you gotta give the job to all these 3 people, because they all got, like, their good parts and their bad parts.
Mingbo's plan is more thorough and more measured. You can tell he's meticulous in his work, very detail-oriented. But he and Qianwei are otherwise polar opposites. Minghua is not very articulate and comes across as very timid in conversation.
Perfect summary. Paimon couldn't agree more. You're good at this, Yewan.
She's gonna get the job anyway.
Last but not least, Jur-E. His manifesto is full of pertinent details, his methodology is sound, and his proposals cover a broad range of fields, which is quite a rare feat. The depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. Plus, he is modest and good at dealing with people. But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tien's. Having someone like Jur-E take the position would certainly put Uncle Tien's mind at rest.
Great.
We'll see. Let's go back and report to Uncle Tien.
Let's go. I like the story quest so far because it actually feels like we're doing something, you know, important. And not like... I mean, basically every story quest is probably important. My brain just sometimes completely shuts down. It's like, okay, I have heard enough. This is too much conversation for me. I do not intend to listen further. Instead, I'll be doing a plunging attack to Wangxiang Funeral Parlor. Didn't mean to do that. I don't know why I did that. My instinct's been coming out. I don't know. Oh, so what's the deal with this guy, huh? Looking sharp, dumbass. Here. You tell Uncle Tien about the assessment process.
I see. Then it's more or less as I anticipated.
Alright, then let me ask this. The ideas in Jur-E's manifesto are very similar to your own. Is there any particular reason behind this?
Her voice sounds so familiar. Like, I know she was in a story quest with us, in an arc quest with us, but for some reason, I hear her voice and it sounds so familiar. Like she was in this game the whole time. I don't know if her voice does sound like kind of familiar to Ningguang's. I don't think they have the same voice actress. But I think I had the feeling before that her voice just sounds really familiar.
Oh, I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates, for fear of affecting your judgment. But I can tell you now.
Is it his son?
Those 3 candidates have all studied under me in the past. It's only natural that they share some similarities with me. But Xin Wei went on to focus on his business, and Ming Guo has always been occupied with his work at the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Of all of them, Jur-E was with me for the longest duration.
Whoa. So how did you get to know them all, Uncle Tien?
Chen Wei was referred to me by an old friend. Ming Guo came to my attention in the course of my work. As for Jur-E, that was pure happenstance. We first met while fishing. Gradually, as we got to know each other, we started discussing all sorts of topics. Jur-E came from a poor family, and his parents died when he was very young. But he was a gifted student and a fast learner. He reminded me of a younger version of myself. So I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing and noticed how quickly he got on.
Okay, I don't know her voice actress, but she was Sumira... I can't scroll up. The red-haired girl from Persona 5R or something? Where is it? Oh, I haven't seen that game. Oh, Persona 5 Royal Kazumi. Yeah, I only know Persona 5 and Persona 4. Sounds like he's principal to you. A younger version of myself. Sounds like a family, kinda.
Quite. And now, all of a sudden, he's grown into a mature young man. It's a joy to see. But it also gets one thinking. The young are growing up, and I am growing old. How time flies. No one can escape the cycle of life.
I don't know, Uncle Tien. You still seem in pretty good shape to me. You might have another few years of work left in you, don't you think?
Let him retire
Oh,
if he wants to.
There's really no need to console me. Having less energy than I used to isn't such a bad thing. It just means I finally have a good reason to retire and spend my days doing what old men like me should be doing. Going fishing whenever I feel like.
Did you just call Jakurai Shibuji from the Matenru Shinjuku Division old because he likes to go fishing? Oh my god, so true.
Sounds like you sure love fishing, Uncle Tien.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing to pass the time. Ooh, and freshly caught fish, they make the most beautiful fish soup with barely any preparation required.
Fresh fish soup. Sounds tasty.
Doesn't it? Also, some time ago, Juri purchased a very special recipe from an old fisherman. When we've been fishing recently, Juri always brings some extra ingredients he prepared in advance. Oh, the addition of these makes the soup taste even more wonderful. That flavor makes for a fond memory. But at my age, who knows how many more chances I have left to taste it again.
Very many chances, I'm sure. Come on. Let's not overdo this.
Oh, can Paimon come next time too? Paimon really wants to try it.
Let's get back to the matter at hand. Uncle Tien, we've reported back. Do you have a verdict?
I appointed you as the assessment officer, and I trust your judgment. Had you not asked me why Juri's ideas were so similar to mine, I was not going to mention my history with any of them. This decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Please disregard all other considerations and make your final decision only after a thorough review of each candidate's talents and capabilities. Remember, you must be thorough.
Understood. Come on, let's go talk somewhere else.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tien. Look after yourself.
You follow Yalan outside the tea house.
So, it's gonna be Juri, right?
We knew it.
His manifesto was written well, and he's the best speaker.
Easy. Let's not rush. There's no time limit for this assessment.
Huh? So, are you gonna give them more tests or something?
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. But let me give you a word of advice. Things are not always as they appear.
Wow.
The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only get information from the person of interest themselves. The truth is almost always hidden beneath many layers of deception. You have to get information through many different channels. For example, Wenyuan, Shanghua.
Yes?
Oh? Oh, that's the guy from the
Lady
trailers,
Gaylon,
right?
what are your orders?
Ugh! Who are they? Where did they come
Her
from?
servants, her minions.
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua. They work for me. As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. They also perform various assignments as required. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan relies on word of mouth. And there's also Upei, who's not here right now.
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he all right? I seem to remember that he can't swim.
Oh no.
Nothing can take that guy down. Certainly not a little wind and waves.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan, go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and look through Mingbo's work files.
Yes, ma'am.
So what about Juri?
Juri, well, obviously as the most promising candidate, we will be investigating him ourselves.
Shocking time.
Let's go to the docks first. Lots of people passing through there. You can find out all kinds of things.
Let's go.
If we're looking for information, why don't we try talking to Bulai, the owner of Wanyu Boutique?
Oh no, I hate him.
He does business at the North Wharf. Maybe he has some news
But
for
he's
us.
so annoying.
That's actually not a bad idea. Let's go and ask him.
But we can annoy him back, it's okay. We got Yella on our side and she's a girl boss, so that should be fine. Where do we get? Oh yeah. Oh, there he is. Okay. Not his usual place. I see. I see.
Huh? What's Polite doing here today?
My speech. Also, what is SideQuest guy doing here today? May I talk to you? It never rains, but it pours. What's the matter? After a huge incident at the Rite of Dissension, the streets have been filling up with millilith. The tension in the air hangs over us like a shroud. Our doors aren't closed, but you know as well as I do how Liyue often does business with other nations, and how many people from every Stop being autoplay. We've brought us prosperity and a fair amount of cultural exchange too. But this incident has caused many such people to be very ill at ease. I've been making preparations to try and calm people down, but with the situation as it is, I don't know where to begin looking for people good at international relations. Wait a moment, Traveler, you've been to many different parts of the world already, haven't you? You must be good at speaking to people from other nations. Actually, I don't know what you're talking about, I can't understand a word. What language are you talking? Could I trouble you then, to help me calm some of your guests down? Sure. Thank you, you're a big help. Now I need to go and let's settle some other matters. Calm Freaky and her brother down. Are they here? They're too far away. Has my quest despawned? Please don't say my quest despawned. Can talk to Bolai. Yeah, he looks like every other guy.
Look, your asking price for this batch is just too high. I can't buy in at this price. How am I supposed to turn a profit?
Come on, hear me out. I'm telling you, this is the single best batch of Sunsetias ever. You won't find anyone who disputes that. I accidentally dropped one into a well, and even the water turned sweet.
Even so...
Alright. I'll let you in on a little secret. The boss of Second Life also wants to buy from me, but I haven't responded yet. If you won't take him, I'll just have to partner with them instead, and neither of us wants that.
Okay, well, when you put it that way, I'll accept your asking price. I'll take all your stock. Don't sell a single one to Second Life.
Getting scammed, loser. Trader who was in negotiation with Bolai leaves. My time to scam him.
What are you doing here?
Gonna scam you to every penny.
And to be clear, these Sunsetias are mine. I got to them first. Don't get any ideas.
Knock yourself out.
Actually, we want to ask you about a guy called Juri. Have you heard of him before?
Juri? Yes, he's quite well known. I've heard a story about him. They say he was born into poverty. His parents died when he was young, and he was treated cruelly by the local community. One of his neighbors was terribly rude to him all the time, but Juri never retaliated. And when his neighbor went bankrupt, he even helped support the family. He returned cruelty with kindness, injustice with peace offerings. A gentleman of talent and character, and... how did I not notice him sooner?
Weak.
In fact, maybe I'm not too late. If I could hire him to be the brand ambassador for miHoYo Boutique.
Oh, he sounds like a decent man. We can finally breathe a sigh of relief.
Why are you asking about him anyway? You aren't looking for a brand ambassador too, are you?
So much better.
Well then, in that case, the higher bidder takes the... that's Juri right over there. Why don't we go and talk to him?
Shotgun, I'm first.
Where?
He is run off already, trying to find him himself.
It's him, all right.
Okay.
Looks like he's chatting with Linlong. Come on, let's follow them and listen in.
Is this another don't get caught
Try
situation?
not to let him see you. We want this information to be as truthful as possible.
So bad at these. Okay.
I'll just go and fetch an employment contract. And hey, don't try and cut me out of this. Hey!
So no one gives a shit.
I understand. Let's walk and talk. So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
He doesn't say anything. I can't hear him.
The truth is,
Oh.
an old friend of mine who likes to have a drink now and then.
What's the hurry? Don't get too close, or he'll see you.
Oh no. Yeah, serious doubts about. What do you mean about my hiding skills? I'm a pro as ninja.
Try not to let him see you. We want this information to be as truthful as possible.
Got it. Just pretend that I got it and just
I
pretend that's what it
understand.
is.
Let's walk and talk.
My friend, what can I get
So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
The truth is, an old friend of mine who likes to have a drink now and then. He fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
How very thoughtful of you. Leave it to me then. Come and collect it at Shigu Antiques whenever is convenient.
She kind of sounds like she has the same VA as Paimon. Only kind of. I don't know their range, so.
Thank you very much, Miss Linlong.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Juri. These days, it's quite rare for someone of your standing to still keep up with their old friends. It's nice to see. I'll be sure to pick out a good set for you. You can count on me.
Imagine your boss is actually spying on you in your free time. She's you looking at Genshin men right now, I don't know.
Juri seems to get along really well with
Or
everyone.
waifus, whatever you prefer.
Are you satisfied now, Yelan? Seems like everyone thinks Juri's a great guy.
We shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet. Let's go check out the wharf where he usually goes fishing.
Do we have to?
Is it another Paimon?
Wait, you're not just trying to dig up some dirt on Juri because you want to be TIANSHU yourself, are
Wouldn't
you?
put that past her.
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. But hey, if I do become TIANSHU, I'll look out for you guys. You'll be able to try all the finest food for free. How does that sound?
We will? Well, come on! Off to the South Wharf we go!
Sure. Damn it, she already knows how to get Paimon on her side. No, but that isn't really hard, so, who wants to have a sticky honey roast? No. No, I have to swim. How could that happen? Ooh, daytime is changing. Here I am.
The wharf is as busy as ever. I hear the anglers here sometimes sell their fish to the nearby fishmongers. Let's see what Uncle Soon has to say.
So lovely. With so many travelers.
Welcome. What would you like to buy today?
We're to buy some information.
Sorry to interrupt. We're actually members of the, Liyue Anglers Association, and we just wanted to ask a few questions about someone. We've heard about this young man called Juri, who's supposed to be a fantastic fisherman. Just wondering if you happen to have heard of him?
Whoa! Yelan made up a whole fake identity without batting an eyelid!
Paimon, psh!
Ah, yes, Juri. He's been making quite a name for himself recently. I've got some friends who travel all over the place, and they tell me everywhere they go they meet someone who's heard of him. Apparently, he had a rather tough time growing up. Had to work several jobs alongside his studies to make ends meet.
Mr. Worldwide.
How does that saying go? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, if there's anything to that logic, he's sure to be phenomenally successful one day.
Yeah, we think so too.
But I'm afraid your Anglers Association might be in for a disappointment.
Oh? Why's that?
He's good at a lot of things, but fishing isn't one of them. He fishes at the wharf and sells what he catches to me on occasion. His catches are always mediocre. Not terrible, but equally nothing to write home about. If you're looking to recruit some new members, though, I do know a few top anglers I could put you in touch with.
That sounds fantastic. I've got a couple of other things to attend to right now, though, so why don't I come back some other time and we can chat over a drink?
Sure thing. See you.
Everywhere they go, they meet someone who's heard of him.
Mr. Worldwide, as
Come
I
on,
say.
let's keep asking around.
Do we have to ask everyone for the fishing thing now? Continue looking for clues on the wharf. Are you a clue? I think so.
Here to buy some fish? It's 300 for one or 3 for 1,000. You better hurry. When they're gone, they're gone.
Hello, we're from the Society for Fish Price Research. We'd just like to ask a few questions.
Wow, she switched identity again.
Just like the Winchester brothers.
Society for Fish Price Research? I haven't done anything illegal. Stay out of my business.
Please, don't worry. We're just here to conduct a simple survey. We've heard about a certain Jur-E who's been selling fresh fish at low prices in this area recently. Do you know anything about this?
So this isn't about me. You should have said something, you know. I know the guy. I can tell you what I know. I haven't heard anything about him selling fresh fish at low prices, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was him.
Well, this guy is not trustable.
Why is that?
Nah.
Because he's so poor. His parents died when he was very young, and his alcoholic father still owed a huge amount of debt. No one wanted anything to do with him. He was still a kid when he first came to the wharf. His clothes were ragged, and he had a bandage wrapped around his head. And he managed to survive, thanks to Uncle Tien, who gave him some food. But still to this day, he doesn't have a lot of mora to his name. I mean, he can afford to eat and everything, but you'll often see him haggling with others over just a few mora. So, I wouldn't be surprised to find out he's been selling a few fish. It's not like he catches much anyway, so it's not going to affect my business. Don't tell him I said that.
You'd rather he didn't know?
Well, I spoke to him once, briefly, and I just had a feeling that he really cares what other people think of him. I think he has pretty low self-esteem, but hey, it's hardly my place to say anything. What he's achieved already puts most people to shame. And nobody's perfect. I just wouldn't want to upset him, that's all.
I see. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Not a problem. And just for the record, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the price of my fish.
The more times you say it, the less convincing it becomes.
Doesn't have a lot of mora to his name. Okay, let's keep going.
Make people rich who are not rich yet. Let's go. Oh, a kid.
Hey, it's you guys! Wait, what's the phrase? Oh yeah, honored to meet you. What brings you to me?
I don't know.
The truth is, we are but newcomers to this territory. We heard tell of a great martial artist, Master Dugu, who knows everything there is to know. Hence, we sought you out to ask for your guidance.
Really? People said I know everything there is to know?
No.
But of course. We also heard that Master Dugu is a kind and virtuous swordsman who never turns away anyone who comes with questions.
Great! So what do you wish to know? Nothing happens on this street that I don't know about.
Now she's lying to a kid.
Seems to have made a stay, yay.
So, Master Dugu, have you heard of one by the name of Jur-E?
Sure have. You mean that guy that all the grown-ups are talking about these days? I've heard many tales of Jur-E. For example, I I can't remember.
Impressive.
Probably because it's nothing that important. I prefer stories about sword-fighting heroes.
Oh, I can completely understand that. Then let me ask you this. Do you remember roughly when the grown-ups started talking about Jur-E?
Oh yeah, I know that. It was about 2 or 3 months ago. Before that, people always used to talk about Jur-E in a kind of nasty tone of voice. But 2 or 3 months ago, suddenly everyone started to like him. Sometimes he gives me candies, so I'm glad that people are starting to like him now.
Just as I thought.
Huh? What do you mean?
I mean, just as I thought, Master Dugu is indeed as kind and virtuous as the legends claim.
I'm not that great. Oh yeah, one other thing. These days, there's a lot of people I've never seen before talking about Jur-E stories in the street. They seem like nice people.
Well, does it kind of feel like he's trying to push his, you know, his reputation here? I don't know.
Oh,
If
definitely.
he like hires some random people to talk good things about him in the street, so everyone else is gonna start gossiping about it and picking up on the subject.
Great! So next time I see them, I'll say hi. And I guess I can share some of my candies with them too.
Certainly. You can also tell my friend in Yenshang Tea House about what they're up to. I'm sure my friend would also like to say hi to them.
Thank you, ma'am!
You're welcome. Well then, fare thee well, Master Dugu.
Until we meet again.
Any of that sound strange to you?
I'm completely lost right now.
Strange? What was strange about it? Jur-E seems to have a great reputation. Uncle
Kinda
Sun and
sus.
Uncle Gao spoke highly of him, and Dugu Shuo seems to like him too.
It's like people running for mayor, you know, they're like, oh, vote me, I'm Fran Moscato, I'm like so cool. Here, have this and this, I give you money for free. If you vote for me, you're gonna get money every day, and then they don't give you shit, so I'm like, I have my trust in him. Juto, what are you doing? You said you don't want the people to be corrupt, but then you are corrupt.
True. But the issue is, where did his sudden celebrity come from? It almost seems too good to be true.
In the end, she's gonna get the job, I know it.
Sudden? Too good to be true? What do you mean?
False reputation.
So he returns cruelty with kindness, and had to work to support his studies. These are the kinds of things that make someone well known in their hometown. But Uncle Soon said even his friends who travel far and wide hear about him wherever they go. That's a little over the top, if you ask me.
So his whole backstory with poverty and the family is fake. Dude, I really like this guy. Come on, don't betray me like that.
Do you remember what Dugu Shuo said about Jur-E's stories? Clearly they left him with a good impression of the guy. But beyond that, he wasn't interested in the details. That's the reaction I would expect from any normal person.
Yeah, true. Oh, come on, this is like more unexpected and hurting than the betrayal of child.
Plus, there's the fact that all this praise of Jur-E has only been happening within the last 2 or 3 months.
When they were probably starting to talk about the retirement of Uncle Tian.
His childhood, his studies, the thing with his neighbor. None of these are recent events. So why are these stories only going around now?
When you put it like that, it is kinda strange.
Of course, if that's all there was to it, I wouldn't look into it any further. Jur-E was born into a poor family. Paying people to get his stories out there is within the rules of the game as far as I'm concerned. The problem is, do you remember what Uncle Gao said about him? He's stayed poor his whole life. Everything he's earned he's either spent on studying, traveling, or paying off debts. I don't think he has the mora to pay for a publicity campaign.
Someone's helping him.
Right. And that changes everything. It could mean a powerful faction is trying to gain influence over the Liu at Xixing.
Don't tell me it's gonna be child. Don't tell me.
That's the worst case scenario. But all too often, the most pessimistic speculation turns out to be closest to the
What
truth.
if Uncle Tian is like paying for him because he wants him to be the next TIANSHU?
Someone's trying to gain influence over the Qixing? That sounds serious. What should we do?
Is it Ningguang? Does Ningguang maybe pick favorites and that's why she did that? I don't know.
Even if we asked Jur-E about it, surely there's no way he'd
No, but we could ask Uncle Chan about if the backstory is true or not.
First, we need to find out who's supporting him. Don't worry, I've got a plan.
Now the story was going in a direction that I suspected.
Remember the current affairs and planning stage of the assessment? Since the successful candidate is duty-bound to implement their plan after taking office, their manifesto tells us their stance on key issues. Whoever is secretly helping Jur-E must be seeking to benefit from his actions after his appointment. So, we should be able to find some hints in Jur-E's manifesto on who we're dealing with. Come on, let's get back to Yenshang Tea House.
Oh, okay. Then let's go back to the tea house. I just don't know, how long this episode is gonna go, so I'm like... But actually... Let me look. Is it gonna be long? Oh yeah, it is gonna be long. Oh my god, yeah, it's gonna be long. Which means I'm gonna make a break here, but, we can finish off this little side quest that we started earlier, which is... Where is it? This one. Because this thing is gonna be too long for this whole episode. It's 2 AM, I kinda get sleepy, so... We're gonna continue this next episode. Sister, we should just head back to Mondstadt.
Oh, come on now, just don't eat any Changyun chop suey next time.
No, I wasn't talking about that. I mean, maybe I was a bit, but the main thing is what happened at the Rite of Ascension. Just think about it, sis. That was like one of those big ceremonies. But if something like that could happen during such a ceremony, never and Leo is safe, we should head back to Mondstadt post haste. Says if Mondstadt that's safe either. Remember that storm and the dragon?
Exactly, Gary. Mondstadt was attacked by a dragon too, and yet wasn't taken care of by the fights of Favonius in the end. So that's, you're the honorary knight, aren't you? The one who teamed up with the knights to defeat Stormter.
That's me.
You see, Gary, even the honorary knight has come to Leo. We're fine, there's nothing to be afraid of. What's more, our gourmet journey has only yet just begun. We can't just stop here.
Even if you say that, what if Leo is full of these frightening dishes like Changyun chop suey?
Come on, Leo is full of famous cuisine. You just haven't found all that suits your preference yet. I'm sure that thing they call jade process will be more to your taste. Let's go try that next.
But if Leo is such a saint, where will we go to find someone who will make this dish for us? I can do it.
Really? Wow, I never knew that the honorary knight was a person of so many tales to be counting on.
Which state are you talking about? Everything's normal here. Shut up.
Come on, Gary, cheer up. Our government journey is going to end here.
Government journey. Jesus. I still think we should go back to Mondstadt. Could even do with a satisfying salad right now.
So did you manage to get the jade parcels? Wow, come on, Gary, this one's definitely to your taste.
Really? Well, I'll give it a try. Oh, this aroma, it really is good.
Oh, it seems that Gary's been completely untraced by his dish. Well, I guess that's the end of him wanting to go back to Mondstadt. Thank you, Honor. It looks like our journey will continue after all.
No need to thank me. Call me Ivanovich down. Wait, where? I thought he was the guy down there at the stalls. Oh, maybe he's not. Oh my god, it's so hot in here. Oh, he is. Okay.
I just like to make people smile.
Dude, that voice is haunting me in my dreams. Just kidding, it's not. But the Muddy Bizarre Adventure event is haunting me in my dreams, actually. Hi, dude, I'm still doing your commission. Don't mind me walking up and down the harbor, I guess. Oh, maybe I should think of some other way. How you doing? Oh, his stall is gone, I guess. Or was there nothing here to begin with? Me? Oh, you must be talking about the recent events here in Leo Harbor. Well, I have no opinion on the matter, really. That said, the people who have been supplying me with snitch and goods who occasionally buy Carl apples from me are very unnerved. I've told them that there should be no problem here in Leo, but they said that they'd only be back in a few months and they'll wait and see how things play out for now. Fortunately, I'd already brought in several new batches of goods, so I can last for quite a while. I'm also taking the opportunity to stock up some Carl apples. Why can't I talk? Still need to man the store here, so could you help me ask Mr. Bola if he has any Carl apples that I could take off his hands? Got it. Thank you. Now he's back at his stupid business. Oh, Bolai. Are you sure this is really the time to talk business with me? It's about Ivanovich. Oh, you mean that outlander who does business near the mouth of the harbor. He still wants my car lapis. Sure, I'm not one to look at gift horse in the mouth. I just so happen to have a batch of core lapis with me. I'd originally prepared it for another customer, but they declined for now, saying that Liu hasn't been safe of late. If that fellow wants to buy, then I'm happy to sell. Go tell him that. I'll stay here and prepare the goods first. Thank you, thank you. How can I get back up here? Is that the way? Why have I never noticed that it goes down this way? Oh my god, I've just been ignoring the given path the whole time because I've just been so quick to jump off the harbor and climb up random bamboo things, apparently. I guess. Wait for me! Ugh. Hi there. So, what was Mr. Polai's response? He said he'll prepare the goods. Oh, that's great, then he's a businessman I can trust. When my last stout-hearted merchant comrades return to Liahaba, it will be time to make a killing.
Why'd they have to give me insurance?
Calm Atsuko down. Oh god, another person. To go back over here. Oh no, I have. Hey, I don't have stamina. Nice. Well, walking, I guess. Just kidding. Who would walk? I mean, wouldn't gliding be faster? Oh damn. Being stuck on a rock is a... Oh, nice. It's a tough thing to do when you're 150 centimeters tall. Try this. Not being shy. I don't know. Hi there. I don't try. Oh, achoo! Sorry, can I help? Are you allergic to cats? Have a nice trip. Oh, chip. Hi there.
What am I to do? Good fortune, hello, is that right? I'm still very familiar with the local greetings. Leo really is completely different from Inazuma.
So, why did you come to Leo?
Well, I'd always wanted to see the world, but the atmosphere in my home is, how did I say it, tense, dangerous. Even trying to leave Inazuma's borders is fraught with difficulty, never mind attempting to travel the world. A normal person could never even make it past the many exits that the Kanjo Commission conduct.
I know, I've been familiar with that.
So I made my own raft and sneaked over here to Liyue. I originally intended to find work here at the wharf as a sailor, but I have no idea where to even begin looking for that job. Also, something must have happened in Liyue because everything's gotten very tense all of a sudden. I don't think there's any place that would be willing to give a job to an outlander like me, is there?
What'd you like to do? I mean, she just said she wanted to be a sailor.
I'd like to be a sailor, of course, but I don't think I could start out as one. I'd be quite satisfied as long as I can get work. Don't underestimate me now. Back in my hometown, I would always help out at my family store. I'm very good at delivering goods. Hey, you want to help me find work? Thank you, that would be lovely. Oh, there are such fine people in Liyue. Yes, I did make some preparations for finding work earlier by asking around. Those people said that I wanted to find a reliable work I could go and find. Let me see, I'm sure I wrote it down here. Oh, there it is. So I can look for manager Kwan, Clark Xiao, and Nervous Anne. But though I wrote it down, I'm not very familiar with the way in which local interact, so I haven't dared to ask them. If you're willing to help me out, please help me ask them. Hopefully one of them might be willing to hire me.
Why is Nervous Anne called Nervous Anne in the first place?
Thank you so much.
Like, what kind of title is that? Alright, never mind. I'm getting too tired to do this. We will continue in the next episode. Until then, Shazam, good night.
The train headed for the Mystic Ruins will be departing soon.